Jesse here with Vantage Wands. Today we're going to be taking a look at some movie replica wands from the Harry Potter franchise made by a company called Noble Collection. I picked a few of these up. They come with a nice, I think it's a vinyl wrapped box here, display box. You can set these up on your shelves. I think that they're made of cast resin, and this is Harry's wand. I'm sure that you've all seen it by now. Of course, it's not quite the same as if you've never actually seen this in person, like owned one of these or seen it in a shop somewhere or something like that, and you've only ever seen it in the movie. Of course, you're only really going to get kind of glimpses. It's not like they have a scene where Harry's standing here holding his wand, for everyone to check out. One of the things that I really like about this, especially when you hold it up next to Voldemort's, is, which makes sense, they are basically mirror opposites. I'm sure I'm not saying anything quite groundbreaking here. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure other people have made this comparison, but as you all know, the wands share the same core, the same phoenix feather. Not the same phoenix feather. They share feathers from the same phoenix. There you go. But also, Harry's is reminiscent of a tree, right? Life, growth, okay? His comes out to this part here, which, as I had referenced this guy in this fellow wand maker in my first video, Kaivox Ender. He breaks these down, like I said in that video, like swords basically, and I love the analogy, and I think that it really helps when it comes to the designing of these. Whereas if you know anything about swords, like medieval swords and things like that, is they have what's called a pommel, which is the base part of it. They have the handle, right? Then they have a guard, then the blade. And may not hold true for every single wand that's out there, but I think thinking about it in those terms really helps when it comes to planning out some designs for these things, as far as, and also as far as ratio of the handle to blade. Generally speaking, for a lot of them, it would be like some of the ones that I've done, just some exceptions of course, but it's like a 40-60 ratio, about 40% the overall length of the wand is handle, and then 60% of it is blade. And you can do some fun little experimentations with ratios and whatnot. But okay, so Harry Potter's tree, life, growth, okay? Voldemort's very bone looking, right? Death, decay, okay? And it's they're the same length for one thing. They're both, let's see here, close to about 13.5 inches, okay? So they're both about 13.5 inches long. And look at the different ratios and how it's broken out. Even the part that's down here is there's little divots here which aren't as pronounced, like someone whittled it with a knife or whatever. And then here it's the same type of pattern repeated. It's just deeper gouged and painted black to look more like decaying bone and whatnot. And then even the angle of these, right, is the same. Check that out. So these two are like mirror opposites to one another, which from a design stance I think is brilliant of the people who designed these for the movies. There's no way that these were described like this in the books. I don't recall, maybe in the book Voldemort's wand is described as being almost bone-like, or maybe there's more detail that goes into it, but I don't think so. Anyway, so that's these, which I got these, one, just because I think they're cool pieces of art. Of course, they're probably gonna go up on the stand back here. I need to add something back there. It's dead space back here behind me. But I also got them because I wanted to be able to compare them. I wanted to be able to see firsthand what the actual movie accurate wands looked like. You know, the sizing, the overall diameter, or I think it's diameter. Starting from here and tapering down. Some are a little bit thinner, such as this is Neville Longbottom's, by the way, which it's super simple, but I really like Neville Longbottom's wand. There's just something about it that I just really, really like. And then there is Horace Slughorn's. My 12-year-old picked this one when I was ordering them. I let her pick one. I wanted a variety to kind of see the different design approaches. But this one, like I had said, the taper and whatnot, very skinny. So I got these, and I also wanted to kind of be able to hold them up too. I showed you guys this wand in the last video. This was I believe it was the first of the newer ones that I had made after coming across Kaivox Ender's YouTube page. I really like it. I think it's super simple. It's different. I think it is. Yeah, it's just about 9.5 inches long, so it's not a particularly long wand, but it doesn't need to be. It's what, and I did say that I would use certain terminologies that this guy Kaivox has used. This is what he would refer to, and I will move forward. I plan to adopt some of his terminologies. Kaivox, if you come across this channel and you happen to see this, sorry, I'm not trying to. I mean it as a compliment to adapt your naming conventions for some of these things. So I would refer to this as what's called pommel heavy. Okay, like you're not going to hold this here. Nah. You're going to hold it right here, and that's where you're going to hold up, and that's where you're going to cast it from when you're casting spells, right? So there's that one. This is actually not going to be for sale. My stepfather passed away a while ago, and I showed it to them, and he said that he really liked this. Of the ones that I had made, this was like his favorite, so I'm keeping it. This was made from a tree branch. Now, no special wood, whatever. I mean, it's a sturdy, strong wood, whatever it is. And I don't know what it is, unfortunately, because it was cut down from the tree of my old house. But anyway, I did my best to add some level of details into this to make it more than just simply a tree branch that had fallen down. And why I use this is because it has this detail in here that I just really liked. Okay, so I kept this portion of the branch, as well as this little nib, as well as this scarred looking thing up here. I stained it. I burnt some of these little holes in here, and then the intent was to do like the inverse in one of these areas where it goes from like dark little indentations to the indentations being lighter, and then the surface being burnt here, which that's what that is. It's burnt. And then I also did a gradient stain here with a darker stain, and I blended it out to become lighter. And then I did like a black acrylic, watered down black acrylic wash, which when you do that, it gets into all the recessed areas, and you wipe the surface, you wipe away the top part. So just the black paint gets down in here and it makes all the details pop. You can do the reverse, of course, which is come in with a what's called a dry brush, where you get some paint, you wipe most of it off on a paper towel, and then you lightly touch the raised areas to make the raised areas pop too. Just which you'll actually see in this next one. This is a root from a bush that I cut down, or that we had to remove from our front yard of our new house. To me, I was going for more of a Ron Weasley-esque looking wand. His has got this kind of more bulbous looking back end, and then it's like rough cut, not chiseled, I guess, rough whittled kind of. And I also charred it with a torch, and then I came in with a little bit of silver, acrylic silver, which I did the dry brush technique with. You wipe most of the paint off on a paper towel, and then you take the brush and you just lightly hit some of these raised areas to give it, on this one the intent was to give it kind of an ashy, more of like a silvery, shiny, wood burnt ashy look to it. It has a kind of a chipped hollow tip, which makes it look all more. This to me is a Weasley-esque wand, and this one is about 12.5 inches long. All of these are up, other than the mushroom guy right here. All these are up in the shop. For anyone who wants to purchase them, they will come with a box, a display box that I am working on making. And here is the last of the new ones that I've made, which is this. It is, I believe, pine. It's very simple. It's a bit of a fatter blade than some of those other ones. I did the gradient staining here. Did some little detail carving here. If I can get the camera to focus. So get some of those extra details in there, right? Then did the watered down black paint wash to get into those carved in little notches there so that they stand out and pop really well. Then took some twine, glued it around it. It is glued down. As well as taking a circular file. And my alarm interrupted the recording, so that's awesome. I took a file and filed down this pattern and then wrapped the twine around that. So it's not just sitting on top of the wood, it's actually sitting slightly into the wood and glued in. It just makes it all stay a whole lot better than if it were just simply glued and put on top. Plus it would look, I mean, the idea is to look like it is wrapped around it, but it would also kind of look like it's just floating on top of it, which to me may not always look so good. But so there you go. What do you think? Do they at all stack up to the Potter ones? I don't know. Do they look like they could be in one of the movies? What do you think? I'm going to continue working on some designs, and if any feedback that you could provide really help. So let me know what you think. If I'm on the right track, any suggestions, criticisms, don't be you can leave criticisms, just, be constructive. So to check out new designs in the future, hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you get notifications when new videos come up, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.